centuries-old vampire, sorcerer, and Transylvanian nobleman who rules over a castle named after him, Castle Dracula. He is perhaps the most famous vampire in all of history, and was known as a human as Vlad Dracula III before he became infected as a vampire. Now, he gains his powers by drinking the blood of an older vampiric creature that he meets in the Broken Tooth Mountain. And he was instructed by this creature to not consume the blood of living creatures for 3 days in order to himself become an immortal. And there's also stories that tell us that he did this to himself, that he used alchemy or dark magic in an attempt to gain immortality, and thus became a vampire creature through his own mechanisms. Although he's classified as a demon, it's tough to really say whether this is a true and accurate classification for this type of creature, and perhaps vampires are a category all to themselves. But what we do know is that his status is that of an undead creature, and he's been alive, quote unquote, for approximately 591 years, while his physical appearance places him at approximately 45. He was born on November 8th in 1431 as Vlad Dracula III, but he died and was reborn as a vampire on December 14th, 1476. Among the lore of vampires has always been their incredible power and strength. And we know that Dracula is incredibly fast and incredibly strong, perhaps a strength of 20 men. He can see in complete darkness and can climb walls like a lizard. He can change his own body, taking on the form of many creatures, although he has to have ample blood in order to have the strength to do that. And he's been able to change his size to unknown degrees, mimicking the forms of any feral type creatures, wolves, dogs, bats, rats, and creatures like that. But he can also turn himself into a mist or an elemental dust, which he uses a lot for escape. It is also said that he can control elements of the weather, being able to create storms, mist, winds, and rain, and also has the ability to mesmerize other humans simply by gazing into their eyes or sometimes merely through his presence. All feral beasts and critters are directly linked to him and will always follow his orders. He also has a psychic link to any vampires under which he is sired, and he has a control over undead creatures such as corpses as well. Now, while vampires are very powerful, like any others, Dracula is not completely without flaws. He can be incinerated, he can be killed by being immersed in running water, or a sanctified bullet, having his heart pierced, or being beheaded are all effective ways of killing a vampire. We know that a wooden stake or even a metallic stake to the heart is another surefire way to kill a vampire. He is among the most legendary beings of all time, and has had many names attached to him, including Vlad the Impaler, Dracula, Count Deville, Mr. Deville, Evil Eye, Or Dog, Polkol, Dracula, Vorlock, Oxlag, Nosferatu, Dracula, Devil, Vampire Prince, and even the Dragon.